So, what do you think? Is the Republican Party worth trying to salvage? And I'll speak from the inside. I don't like to just bitch and moan about things. I like to be a part of the solution, at least attempt to be. And so I joined my local Republican executive committee in Florida, okay? They call it an REC. It's a new term for me. REC, Republican Executive Committee. What does that mean? Well, it means you have a pulse and that you're a registered Republican. I'm a registered Republican because I don't know what the heck else to register. Oh, register as an independent, Graham, but then I can't participate in the primaries, and I care about that stuff. So I'm a registered Republican, and I joined the REC. And recently we had an REC meeting, and there are, I don't know what the voting membership is. It's somewhere on the REC. It's somewhere around 120 maybe. So I'm just guessing. Don't send me nasty emails if I'm wrong, but if you know the answer, you can send me the correct, because you probably know what county I'm talking about, but I'm not going to tell you. So there's probably around 120 voting members. And there was a recent effort to get a lot of patriots involved in the REC. I think there can be somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 total, which is kind of cuckoo. How do you really get anything done on an executive committee with 600 people on it? I don't know. But it was a disaster. It was embarrassing. It was a joke. The way they ran it, first of all, was worse than kindergarten elections. Voting for class president in kindergarten was more organized and well thought out than this disaster. They had people vote for one candidate, and then you would wait, and then there'd be speeches, and then you'd vote for another, and then instead of just voting on a slate, kind of like what we do in a regular election, have your speeches, and then everybody votes. How about it? No, didn't do that. They had speeches, vote. I mean, it's cuckoo. It was cuckoo. But then, for the chairman position, which is, the head of the snake, right? And then I use that term advisedly, snake. The acting chairman prances out and says, well, we have 8 more votes than we have people registered to vote. I said to myself, I don't believe what I just heard. I do not believe what I just heard. And I just yelled out, oh, it's California all over again. And they just laughed. They just laughed like it's no big deal. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it is a big deal. And in that case, there needs to be a re-vote in that REC in that county. It is not acceptable to have 8 more votes than there are people registered to vote. That is not acceptable. In the Republican Party, it shouldn't be acceptable in kindergarten. Yet, no big deal, doesn't change the election results. How do you know it doesn't change the election results? The entire vote is corrupt. And there needs to be a re-vote. But there won't be one, because that's how corrupt the Republican Party is. So, again, I try and lay out a case here, and when I do on this program, I try and also lay out a solution, but I don't got one. The only solution I have is another party and blow up the Republican Party, and if that happens, I know what happens. We have chaos for probably a couple of decades. It's a nuclear political winter for at least a decade, okay? At least a decade. At least, 2 or 3 or 4 election cycles, it would be a disaster. I know that. I know that, okay? Hi, this is Graham Ledger. To watch this entire program and for all the Ledger Report programs, please go to grahamledger.com.